This is hard, actually. Dyslexia. Yeah, all right. I don't normally talk about myself in this way, but I thought I'd quickly say what dyslexia means to me, what my dyslexia is. And maybe you'll recognize yourself in this. Let's start with the hard stuff. School. School was hard, couldn't do it. I was the bottom of the class in almost everything. Not in everything, but I was the bottom of the class in almost everything. I was held back a year twice. It took me 3 attempts to get my O levels, GCSEs these days. For those people who aren't in the British system, kind of you take exams when you're sort of 16, 15, 16, that sort of age. And it took me 3 attempts to get enough, or to scrape enough exams. Level C I got to get me to do A levels, and I did less or fewer A levels than other people did. And I didn't do very well in them. And I left school with really a very small handful of very poor grades. And that was hard. School was hard. On the other hand, the further up I got in school, when I got to sixth form college, and then when I got to university, it became easier. That was weird. It became easier because the things that it asked me to do were different. So at school, I was being asked to read from the board and write stuff down and remember tons of information and then churn it out. And I couldn't do that. But at university, especially once I got to the sort of master's level and sort of PhD, it was all about using that information. It was about drawing different things together and creating new shapes of knowledge, if you like, drawing different pieces of information together and creating new shapes of information, new structures of knowledge. And I was really good at that. And I'm really good at breaking down difficult concepts and then explaining difficult concepts and then showing how these concepts work with other concepts and bringing things together. These are things I'm really good at. And these are things that, if you like, higher education values, but school education just doesn't care about. And so I would like to say that my dyslexia meant that I did badly at school because they didn't know how to teach dyslexics and they didn't know that I was dyslexic. So I did badly at school, but I did well at university. Sort of primary, secondary education, I was awful. Tertiary, higher education, I was actually pretty good. That's the first thing to say about my dyslexia. What does it do? Well, again, the negatives. Reading is hard. It's slow. I mean, see these books? I've read many of them, actually, or at least I've dipped into them. It's taken years. If you ask me to read a book, people often give me books to read and say, oh, Martin's got loads of books. He enjoys books, so give me a book. And inside my head, there's this something going, I can't do it. Because books are hard. They take a long time. They're tiring. I read Frankenstein. It took like 2.5 years or something. It's not a massive book. It's like 200 pages or something. It took 2.5 years. It takes a long time. It tires you out. After reading, generally, I'll fall asleep because it's hard. And that's the phonological decoding that's going on, because there's a lot of work. The areas of the brain that you use to read, they're not connected in the same way, and you know the information is going all around the houses for me. So reading is hard, but I enjoy doing it. My handwriting is terrible, or at least, you know, in the classic way of looking at it, it's a mess. I miss letters out. I start words with the wrong letter. I put the wrong letter in words. When I'm typing, it's a lot more fluent. It's a lot easier. So if you like, handwriting and typing are different for me. Still, remembering things can be hard. Certainly trains, buses, aeroplanes. I travel a lot. I'm always getting on the wrong train. I turn up at the wrong airport sometimes. I get off trains at the wrong stop. Sometimes I get off a train and then get on the same train. It's a disaster. Don't travel with me. Whatever you do, don't travel with me. I've got visas wrong in the past. I've applied for visas to the wrong place, or I've taken too long in the application process. And that's another thing. Administration processes are hard. I take such a long time to do them, and I need help. I need support with that. People just to say, now you do this, because this is the executive function. Sort of task initiation and going through with tasks can be hard for me. So organization as well. I tend to do one thing at a time, and other jobs get stacked, if you like, in the background. They get queued in the background. I do one job at a time, because otherwise it would be chaos. So reading and writing is difficult and it's slow. Organizational skills are tricky. I need help with them. Getting from A to B, I'll often get through Z, so I don't just go the linear route. I'll go all over the place. I'll go to the wrong places. That's where it's tricky. Where it's good, where it's better for me. I honestly don't think I'd have got my PhD without my dyslexia. I genuinely don't think that. My thesis was a product of my dyslexia. It was a product of the way I think. It's a product of how I take different ideas and draw them together. My supervisor, God bless him, he died about a year before I was due to submit my thesis. And they tried to find me a new supervisor, and they couldn't, because on the one hand, as with most PhDs, it was really niche. But on the other hand, it turned out to have been really interdisciplinary, because I was drawing so many different ideas together that it was difficult to find another supervisor. So a guy called Professor Garcia from America, thank you, volunteered and helped. But if there hadn't been that guy to volunteer and help, I don't know what would have happened, to be honest with you, because, they needed to find me a supervisor, and they gave me a stand-in one from the university, but he had no idea about my subjects. I'm really good at visualizing things and at producing and presenting visualizations of really difficult ideas. And this is another thing about dyslexia and my dyslexia, the ability to take a complex idea and then make sense of it and present it in an accessible and a simplified way. So the ability to take a complex idea, funnel it through this idea of accessibility and then present it in an accessible way. I'm really good at that kind of thing. And to take a complex idea and see how it links with other complex ideas and synthesize them. This is what I'm really, really good at. That and being able to grasp difficult ideas quickly. And depending on how you present them. If you present them in a literacy fashion, maybe not, I don't know. But if we talk about a complex idea, bang, I've usually got that. Also, weirdly, I'm one of these people, and I think a lot of dyslexics are like this, I'm one of these people who can almost finish other people's arguments before they're halfway through. I know where the arguments are going, usually. And that can be quite annoying because, if I start to try to sort of jump in and go, this is what you mean, they get really upset. But I think one of the things I'm quite good at is understanding complex arguments to the point where, if you like, because I'm seeing them as a bigger picture, I see where they're going before a lot of other people do. So overall, for me, I'd say my dyslexia makes me a contradiction. It means that the things that a lot of people would like me to do, I'm not very good at. The things I was supposed to do at school, I was terrible at. The things that people expect you to do at work, the organization, the multitasking, that kind of thing, I'm really quite poor at that. But on the other hand, the things that other people can't do, the ability to see through complexity and make it simple, the ability to draw different ideas together and produce something new, I'm really good at that. And I think that, to me, that's what my dyslexia is. It makes me a contradiction.